Then say, okay, so say Josh Balls, don't say Caitlin Felix's. We're all good? Ready? We're all good to start? Oh. Oh. Just give her one of the ones that isn't here and flip it inside out so it's white. Alright, so Emmy, we're good to start. Y'all good? Okay. The Senate will now come to order. The Pledge of Allegiance will now be read by Chief of Staff Kohler, followed by a moment of silence and reflection. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. The clerk will call the roll. Please correct the pronunciation of your name if it is incorrect. Point of information, if you're proxying for somebody, when their name is called, you say proxy here.
Anderson. Barnes. Barr. Brash. Byer. Cardino Mendez. Costello. Cumby. Gay. Yeddins. Gruner. Hopkins. Resto. Cassetti. Kay. LaPenta. Lapsley. Matthews. Miller. Morgan. Mozo. Neves. Peterson. Pillsbury. Rojas. Rongus. Sowell. Wenzel. Windsor. Wall.
With the quorum being present, is there a motion to approve the Journal of April 3rd, 2024 as found online? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. We are now in line for the general orders of the Senate, beginning with reports from Senate leadership. Speaker Pro Tempore Byer, you are recognized to give a report on the Rules Committee. The Speaker Pro Tempore yields to questions. Are there any questions for the Speaker Pro Tempore? We'll now hear a report from the Academics Committee. Chairwoman Anderson, you are recognized.
Hey y'all, Academics met from 4 to 5 on Mondays if anybody wants to join. And we had one interview last week, which was favorable. And we met to discuss ideas about academics, specifically improving class registration. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions for the chairwoman? Senator Morgan.
We talked about potentially adding, this was an initiative that was worked on in freshman council, but adding a tab on it that has either a syllabus in which professors can agree to have their syllabus under that, along with course fees, as certain labs and things have course fees that are disclosed later, which would help to improve transparency.
Are there any other questions for the chairwoman? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Finance Committee. Chairman Wenzel, you are recognized.
Hello everyone. Simple week this week. Finance Committee met at their usual time on Friday at 3:30 and then again on Tuesday at 1:30 doing comptroller interviews. We'll be meeting again this Friday at 3:30 during normal schedule to continue these interviews. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Health and Safety Committee. Chairman Gruner, you are recognized to give a report.
Hey guys, Health and Safety met on Thursday at 6 p.m. We had 4 great interviews. We found everybody unanimously favorable, and with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Inclusion and Equity Committee. Chairwoman Cassetti, you are recognized.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. The Inclusion and Equity Committee meets on Wednesdays from 4:30 to 5 p.m. And we discuss some initiatives related to a cultural showcase that we hope to bring to stage in September. And other than that, we interviewed a person for Deputy Secretary of Inclusion and Equity, and that was found unanimously favorable. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairwoman yields to questions. Are there any questions for the chairwoman? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Judiciary Committee. Chairman Kay, you are recognized.
I don't bring my computer up here very often, so you know I've got a little bit of something to say. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to all the chairs. Many of them were conducting a good many interviews, and I just want to say that they deserve a lot of credit for that. I also have a couple people I want to thank while I'm up here really quick. Senators Caradano, Chairman Neves, Senator Castello, Senator Morgan, Senator Lapsley, and Vice Chairwoman Miller. They all were comprised of the joint committee that did many of the interviews for Judiciary and Powers, and I just want to say for all those who are present and for those who are online, thank you, just from the bottom of my heart. That could not have happened without y'all, and that was a lot of time and energy y'all spent. I stole your Saturdays, and I'm so very sorry for that. But I do want to say I think it is worth it, and I just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out for that. But moving on, appointments. We interviewed 7 individuals for the Joint Committee for Powers and Judiciary, and 1 individual just the Judiciary. I'm going to go over them quickly. We interviewed for the Attorney General or the Secretary of Justice, one Ian Hurd. The committee found that Mr. Hurd displayed a passion to serve and is one of the most experienced individuals when dealing with the codes and constitutions. His prior positions and preparedness for the future gives the committee confidence that the executive office will be greatly benefited by his service and work. Emily Rabin was, and she was found unanimously favorable. Emily Rabin, was appointed to the position of Secretary of Government Relations. All of these were found unanimously favorable, just so I don't have to repeat that. It was found that Mrs. Rabin possesses a great deal of experience that will benefit both the projects of the various government relations teams and possesses the skills necessary to engage with the many stakeholders and government relation leaders effectively. Emma Davison was found once again unanimously favorable for the Director of Local Agency Network, or LAN. It's one of the government relations team. She was found to be incredibly supportive of others and possessed great communication skills and experience that we find will benefit the position. This, combined with an interest in serving others and the state, makes her an excellent candidate. Lucy Dixon was found unanimously favorable for the director of the Congressional Advisory Board, which is our Congress kind of liaison group. She came incredibly well prepared, was very flexible working within our very limited time scale, and this combined with her experience and passion for government relation teams makes her an excellent choice. Sean Duty was found unanimously favorable for the Elections Commission. Some of you have probably heard that name before. He is currently in France, so he will not be being sworn in today, but he will be once he's back. But he possesses a wealth of experience in and around student government. His track record really just speaks for itself. He possesses the skill for leadership and a work ethic that we think will greatly benefit the Elections Commissioner team. Once again, found unanimously favorable. I'm trying to get through them quickly. I know. Olivia Smeltzer was found unanimously favorable for the position of Director of City Advocacy Commission. This one is our city government relations team. She was found to be organized and driven to succeed with a incredibly Spartan attitude and an experience that we think will keep her moving, or keep the City Advocacy Commission moving forwards and in very positive directions. Two more. Madison Hahn was found unanimously favorable for the position of Deputy Elections Commission. She contains an unbridled passion and a near-endless drive to see projects through. She possesses a great deal of experience in political faucets and a talent for writing that we think will serve the Elections Commission incredibly well. And finally, Mary Grace Laborowski for the Deputy Secretary of Government Relations. She was one of the most experienced applicants, having served with both CAB, which is the Congressional Advisory Board, and LAN, which is the Local Action Network. She's incredibly prepared to serve in a role, and the Joint Committee has no doubt that she will do an exceptional job. That being said, we will be meeting this Friday to discuss the new pieces of legislation at 1 p.m., and I will yield to any questions.
The chairman yields to questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
We will now hear a report from the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. Chairman Neves, you are recognized.
Hey y'all. So Powers and Responsibilities usually meets at Fridays at 1 o'clock. However, this week we're not going to be doing that because we're going to be conducting more interviews. This week we did 16 interviews where we found all the candidates unanimously favorable. And while I could go into long rants about each reason, y'all were great, and thank you very much. This Friday we have 2 interviews set for 9 and 9:30, as well as 5 more vacant seat interviews on Sunday. I yield for any questions.
The chairman yields to questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Student Life Committee. Chairman Barnes, you are recognized.
Good afternoon, everyone. So Student Life usually meets on Mondays at 6 o'clock, but due to the amount of interviews we had this week, we met on Monday and Wednesday. We interviewed 8 total candidates, 7 of which were unanimously favorable. The position of Deputy Secretary of Athletics was found unfavorable by a vote of 5-1. If anyone has any questions regarding the committee's decisions regarding these nominees, please come find me after session, and I'd be happy to answer them. Besides the interviews, we also discussed our committee-wide and individual initiatives for next semester, and with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Sustainability Committee. Chairwoman LaPinta, you are recognized.
Hey everyone. So sustainability met this week and will meet every week on Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. in the LSC. If you're interested in joining sustainability or any committee for that matter, you can do so during the motion period by saying motion to add myself to whatever kind of committee. This week we voted on the Deputy Secretary of Sustainability, who many of you will recognize as a former senator and chairperson, during our meeting, and he was found unanimously favorable, so big congrats. I met with Kim Mahon, whatever, this week to discuss how we can support sustainability in the new Russell House. For example, making sure that the materials and the designs of the building are as environmentally conscious as possible. Although most of the details have yet to be flushed out, I'm excited to continue working with her. As far as other projects, the majority of them are still in the planning stages, but I'm really looking forward to what they can be. With that, I yield to questions.
The chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions for the chairwoman? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now hear a report from the Freshman Council. Are there any representatives present? Seeing none, we'll now hear a report from the Constitutional Council. Chief Justice Buchmeyer, you are recognized.
All right, there's not much to report, I suppose. In light of those recent reports, I'm thankful we do not do interviews, and with that, I yield to questions.
The Chief Justice yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the Chief Justice? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank y'all.
We'll now hear a report from the Speaker of the Senate, Maura Hamilton. Chief of Staff Kohler, you are recognized.
All right, hey y'all, happy Wednesday. Just some general reminders for y'all. Make sure that you're dressing in business professional to all of our Senate meetings. Interviews, as some of y'all have mentioned, y'all have done such an amazing job with those. So proud, Maura and I are so proud of y'all for that. Just make sure that you're not taking anyone's resumes home or distributing them anywhere else. Your chair people should be collecting those at the end of each interview. Great job also with attendance. Just another reminder, if you're going to leave early from Senate session for any reason, you do still need to submit your proxy form or it will count as an unexcused absence. And lastly, make sure that you join the SG-wide group me that Maura just sent out. She sent it in an email right before session. As always, if y'all have any questions, please find me after session or just email me. Thanks, and I yield my time to questions.
The Chief of Staff yields her time to questions. Are there any questions for the Chief of Staff? Seeing none, thank you. We're now in line for a report from the Student Body Treasurer. Chief of Staff Callum, you are recognized.
Does this work? Yes, it does. Okay, hey everyone. There we go. Cool. So the Treasury didn't really do a whole lot this week. We conducted some more comptroller interviews. We're hoping to hit that because currently we can only have up to 10 comptrollers, right? We have like 7 or 8 in the works right now, still going through Finance Committee interviews and all that. We're hoping to reach out to organizations like DSP, business fraternities, Darla clubs to try to see who else wants to be comptroller and fill those positions. Because ideally we'd have like at least 10, if not more. We might even like change the codes to like go to 12 or 15 if that's possible. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Because the role of comptroller is becoming more of like a interpersonal thingy, where it's comptrollers are more. They're interacting directly with student organizations, right? They're talking right with the leaders and the treasurers and the presidents of those organizations. So if you divide 10 comptrollers by 600 organizations, then you have 60 organizations per comptroller. There's not a lot of personability in that. So we're trying to up the number, at least get to 10, right? That's our goal. And so, yeah. Also the treasurer's workshop slides have been completed. So those are ready for the first treasurer's workshop held in September or August? I forget which one. Okay, cool. I yield the remainder of my time to questions.
The Chief of Staff yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the Chief of Staff? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for a report from the Student Body Vice President. Vice President Courtney Tax, you are recognized.
Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. So my big reminder is Swipe Out Hunger and SEC Food Fight is this week. Just a reminder, it is mandatory for you to either donate a swipe, donate a canned food item, or donate your time. Once you've completed that, there's a form in Garnet Gate. If you kind of scroll down to forms, it's the last one on there. It says Swipe Out Hunger participation. I am keeping track of all of the branches' participation, so I will know kind of what branches are doing more, which ones are doing less. But I just really want to make sure that this is kind of like a cumulative student government effort. So please try to donate. We have a box in the back of the LSC if you are donating a canned food item. Other than that, I'm sure presidents will also talk about this, but Safety Walk is also a mandatory event. I will be keeping track of those as well. I'll have a QR code at the actual Safety Walk. It'll be try to get there 6:15 in the LSC, and we'll actually go on the walk at 6:30. So I'm really, really excited about that. We have USCPD and facilities coming out, so we're going to have a big staff presence, so I would love for there to be a big student presence as well. And, we had our first kind of comms meeting yesterday. A few of our comms members and our press secretaries came, so there's a lot of really great idea about communicating with the student body and reaching out to different organizations and different groups to make sure that we are reaching all students here on campus. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The Vice President yields her time to questions. Are there any questions for the Vice President? Chairwoman LaPinta.
It'll be next Wednesday. Yes.
Are there any more questions for the Vice President? Senator Giddens.
Try to get there at 6:15, and we'll go out at 6:30.
Vice Chairwoman Miller.
You do have Senate next week, do you?
We do have Senate next week.
Okay. I didn't really think about this. Let me reach back out to USCPD. That was the time they gave us today. I'm sure we can try to get it moved back a little bit. So more information to come. Let's say 7:15. Oh, wait. Isn't today the last Senate session? No. Hey, guys. Let's try 7:15, and I'll reach back out with more information when I have it. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
Are there any other questions for the Vice President? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for a report from the Student Body President. President Patton Byers, you are recognized.
Hey guys, I'm not Patton, but unfortunately he couldn't make it here today because he had a prior speaking engagement, but he is happy to report that he had a great time in Cleveland, where our women's basketball team became national champions once again. Additionally, he would like to thank President Amarides for working with student government and getting classes canceled last Monday. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't have to go to campus on Monday, so it was nice. Then as for the philanthropy council bill that will be coming up tonight, fully endorse it. We think it's a great idea to bring even more service to this service and leadership organization. And lastly, if you guys have not heard, this Sunday at 2 p.m., they are doing a parade downtown for the women's basketball team to honor their national championship and shiny new trophy. And with that, I yield to questions.
Mr. Lloyd yields to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for special orders of the Senate. Are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body President requesting a 1-week extension for the following position, Deputy Elections Commissioner.
The question is of a 1-week extension on the appointment of a Deputy Elections Commissioner. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The extension is granted. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body President concerning Cabinet Deputy Secretary nominations. Deputy Secretary of Athletics, Pearson Dillon.
The nominee is referred to the Student Life Committee. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, appointments, petitions, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body Vice President concerning the appointment of staff members, Assistant Director of Communications, Communications Outreach Director, and Communications team members.
Received. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body Treasurer removing the following nominees: Chief Comptroller Eleanor McMakin, Comptroller Ben Smith.
Received. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, or applications? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body Treasurer concerning Chief Comptroller and Comptroller nominations, Chief Comptroller Ben Smith, Comptrollers Nick Holjak, Eleanor McMakin.
The nominees are referred to the Finance Committee. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body Treasurer requesting a 1-week extension for the following confirmation hearing, Aiden Farrell.
The question is of a 1-week extension of the nominee's confirmation hearing. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The extension is granted. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Senate Powers and Responsibilities Committee requesting a 1-week extension for the following confirmation hearings, Morgan Poirier and Bodie Daniel.
The question is of a 1-week extension to the following confirmation hearings. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The extension is granted. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
Approval of the following committee assignments: Academics, Anita John, William Zing, Isaac Workman, Kaylee Erler. Health and Safety, Soraya Ramali, Anita John, Isaac Workman. Inclusion and Equity, Ainsley Reed, Anita John, William Zing. Judiciary, Tate Few, William Zing, Kaylee Erler. Powers and Responsibilities, Tate Few, Soraya Romali, Kaylee Erler. Sustainability, Soraya Romali, Ainsley Reed. Student Life, Ainsley Reed, Isaac Workman.
The question is of approval of committee assignments. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The committee assignments are approved. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
Application of Mega Rye, Tori Kerner, Chandler Hines to be seated in the 116th Senate.
The applications are referred to the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read. Seeing no more special orders of the Senate, we are now in line for the motion period. Are there any motions on the floor? Chairman Kay.
I move to confirm all favorable nominations for the joint powers and responsibilities and Judiciary Committee, as well as the members of
The question is of the omnibus of the confirmed nominees from the Judiciary and the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. Is there an objection? Seeing no objection, the nominees are now omnibus. Is there a motion on the floor? Chairwoman Anderson. The motion is for the confirmation of the respective nominees. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominees are confirmed. Chairman Wenzel.
Confirm the nominees Kevin Donovan, Shreya Ganhan, Anuska Sharma, and Tim George to the position of comptroller.
The question is of the confirmation of the confirmed nominees from the Finance Committee. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominees are confirmed. Chairman Gruner. The question is of the confirmation of the confirmed nominees from the Health and Safety Committee. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominees are confirmed. Chairman Neves. The question is of the appointment of the vacant seat senator nominees. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The vacant seat senators are confirmed. Chairwoman Cassetti. The motion is of the confirmation of the Deputy Secretary of Inclusion and Equity. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominee is confirmed. Chairman Barnes. Question is of the confirmation of the nominees from the Student Life Committee. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominees are confirmed. Chairwoman LaPinta. The question is of the confirmation of Jackson Hensley to the Deputy Secretary of Sustainability. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominee is confirmed. Chairman Kay. The question is of the omnibus nominees from the Powers and Responsibilities Committee and the Judiciary Committee. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The nominees are confirmed. Chairwoman LaPinta. There's been a motion to suspend the rules to allow everyone to take their oath of office. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. All y'all can come down now.
to uphold the Carolinian Creed,
and to represent my constituents
to represent my constituents
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
I think maybe Abby wants to take a photo. Do you just want to take one? Oh gosh, wait, I'm in the photo. That's so awkward. Should I just like... Look like you like each other. You're about to work together. If you are a newly appointed senator, you can now sit in the middle with the rest of the body. Chairwoman LaPinta. Is there a motion to reinstate the rules? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Chairwoman LaPinta. All right, there's been a motion to add Chairwoman LaPinta to the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. All those in favor? Oh, sorry, is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Chairman Barnes. There's been a motion to remove Chairman Barnes from the Sustainability Committee. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Chairman Barnes. There's been a motion to remove Chairman Barnes from the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Chairman Kay.
I move to introduce a bill onto the first reading calendar whose statement or purpose statement is to adopt the Student Government Philanthropic Council.
All right, the question is of the introduction of SBL 11602 to the floor. Is there a second? All those in favor, say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. SBL 11602 is now introduced to the first reading calendar. Senator. Can you repeat your? Yeah, can you repeat your? Remind me of your last name. All right. There's been a motion to remove Senator John from the Academics Committee. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Senator John. There's been a motion to remove Senator John from the Inclusion and Equity Committee. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Chairman Barnes. There's been a motion to add SBL 11603 to the floor. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The legislation is now added to the first reading calendar. Senator Morgan. There's been a motion to add Senator Morgan as a co-sponsor to SBL 11603. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Are there any other motions on the floor at this time? Chairwoman Cassetti. We're going to save that for next week. Are there any other motions on the floor? Seeing none. Is there a motion to dispense of the motion period? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. We are now on the call of the introduction of new legislation. The clerk will now read.
SBL 11602, sponsored by Chairman Kay, a bill to establish the Student Government Philanthropic Council.
Chairman Kay, you are recognized to speak on the legislation.
I'm very excited because this time I don't have a list to read from, so it's just going to be me off the handle. Effectively, what this bill does, I'm apologizing for the way in which it had to be done. I was running out of time, and we wanted to get this established before the summer. As kind of previously mentioned, the executive team was kind of interested in this, and they asked me to work with them on it. And what it effectively does is it creates a similar institution to FROCO, which is Freshman Council, which will do roughly two things. The intention is for it to engage much more of the service level of our leadership and service entity. It's a philanthropic council. It's meant to go do philanthropy, much like most Greek organizations have. And secondarily, the intention is also to serve as a kind of training ground and potential pool of new applicants for student government related positions. I know student government has definitely had an issue where if people are kind of denied their positions, they're denied whatever it is, but they're good candidates, they might not have a chance to kind of join or see what student government is capable of, because we have no institution that can kind of take everybody that wasn't the first and best pick. And so this can kind of do that. So not only can we engage the community and serve the community, but we also get to bring in a whole new group of people who are interested potentially in serving in student government for future positions. And with that, I'll yield my time.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. The legislation is now referred to the Judiciary Committee. Continuing on with the call of new legislation, the clerk will now read.
SBO 11603, sponsored by Senator Matthews, Barnes, and Morgan, a resolution to recognize the University of South Carolina women's basketball team and coaching staff for a historic 2023-2024 season.
Chairman Barnes and Senator Matthews and Morgan, you are recognized to speak on the legislation.
Good evening, everyone. So, kind of like the bill says, we're just congratulating the university's women's basketball team for winning their NCAA final and the SEC championship. We're also congratulating Coach Dawn Staley for her Coach of the Year award for the third year in a row, along with leading her team to a third national title in 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot else to add to that, but I just want to say that what these women managed to accomplish over the last season is nothing short of extraordinary, and this is just our way of formally congratulating them for their season.
With that, we yield our time to questions.
The senators and the chairman yield their time to questions. Are there any questions? Chairman Kay. There's been a motion to pass by acclamation. You don't say. Without objections, the legislation is adopted. Continuing on with the call of new legislation, the clerk will now read. Hearing none, that completes the call of new legislation. We are now on the call of the uncontested calendar. The clerk will now read. Hearing none, that completes the call of uncontested legislation. We are now on the call of contested legislation. The clerk will now read. Seeing none, that completes the call of contested legislation. Goodness. We are now in line for a period of open discussion. Does any senator wish to bring a matter of attention to the body? Hearing none, we are now in line for a period of announcements. Are there any announcements from the floor? Senator Lapsley, you are recognized.
Okay, good afternoon. Real fast, the main announcement is USC's Pineapples organization for the Asian. They raise awareness on the Asian community on campus. They're having their new member presentation this Friday. Doors open at 7:45, and the show starts at 8. So if you can, it'll be at Closed Hip, in the Closed Hip Theater, and I yield my time to questions.
The senator yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the senator? Seeing none, thank you. Are there any other announcements on the floor? Chairman Gruner, you are recognized. The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. Are there any other motions on the floor? Awesome. I have an announcement. I'm making it super quick and short because I want to get us all out of here. I just want to say thank you. You all did an amazing, amazing job. I am genuinely so proud of each and every one of you. I'm so happy with the attendance that we've had at Senate, the attendance we've had at committees. I'm happy with the great questions that y'all asked during your interviews, and I'm really excited for this upcoming week. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to contact me or my chief of staff. And just because summer is coming up, don't think that you need to stop thinking about legislation. You can still write legislation over the summer and then submit it when we get back. Maybe don't slam us with like 45 pieces in one session, but like a couple would be really nice. Other than that, I think that's it. Just remember that you're showing up in business professional, you're not going on your phone during session, that you're treating everybody with respect. With that, I yield my time to questions. Are there any questions? Awesome, thank you. With no further announcements, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? Without objection, the Senate will now stand adjourned until Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. Oh, safety walk got changed to 7.